looking at that blue button that's on the screen. I don't know how you're not looking at anything. Hey everybody, welcome back. We're playing Metroid Prime 4.
Hi everybody. Today we are streaming a Metroid. Metroid is a word that means little alien creature, and I am here with my black friend. Anyone that says I don't have one, and I've said some of my best friends are black, this is my black friend, and his name is Alternate Visuals. Because sometimes the standard visual that you're used to is just not the way to go, and you want an alternate. This lady is Metroid. I'm sorry, I ruined it for any of you that didn't know that it was a woman. Miss Metroid is a woman. She's actually Southern, and she has the very Southern name of Seamus. So if you've ever heard Seamus, like that's a Southern name, and that's her name. And she likes to shoot things, and they do hard light things made out of blue. And sometimes she kills robots, and sometimes she kills plants, and sometimes she just kind of stands there like she is right now. Game Hunter should be playing the game any minute now. We're just waiting for him at this point. I'm hoping that he plays because I'm excited about some really good shooting of aliens. We don't have to feel bad for them because they're aliens and not people.
Okay, after that really unnecessarily long making fun of me for some really weird reason. Yo, we're back.
I wasn't making fun of you. I was being very supportive and friendly. Why do you gotta turn it into me making fun of you?
This is how it normally works.
But I was talking about Seamus and how it's okay to kill aliens and stuff.
I don't know why my freaking audio, at least my mic itself, seems low. That still bothers me. Oh well. Figure it out eventually, at least I hope not. Well, I hope so, not that I hope not. Alright.
Your volume isn't as loud as you'd like it to be?
It seems like my game audio seems to be louder than me, but maybe it's my imagination, I have no idea.
Do you want me to... I can fill in for the music if you want. I can be like... Ha, 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 ha.
No, I rather appreciate the work that the game developers at Nintendo
I've had a sort of a cough, so I have sort of a frog in my throat today, so my singing isn't quite as harmonious as it normally would be, but I've got a lot of heart, you know, and sometimes what you need isn't a lot of skill so much as a lot of heart when you do something like this, you know? So I'll do it. It's all right. I'll do it until my voice gives out. How about that? Oh, you're gonna have so many viewers. La 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 la. Ha ha ha. Actually, I know a really good hack to turn up the volume if you want to try it.
I've already turned the volume now. Don't say anything.
I know a good hack though. It's like a key thing that you can press that will double your volume. Do you want to know how to do it?
No.
All you have to do is press Alt F4.
I know what that does, but it doesn't do what you're saying it does.
Yes, it does. It's like a hack, like a game hack.
That doesn't do what you're saying it does. I'm not pressing it. I'm not a gullible person that you can go.
It amplifies your volume. It amplifies your volume. Ask your viewers. Ask your viewers to tell you what it does.
There are none here yet. According to this freaking audio interface, it should be loud enough. Whatever. I should talk directly into the microphone. That might actually help.
Oh, I can hear you now. You've got that velvety, dulcet tone coming through.
What do I need?
It
are we
makes your
doing
voice.
here?
It makes your voice sound like ha 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 ha. Ha. Ooh,
No, can't do anything with
ooh,
that.
ha.
I don't know why I
La
can't.
la 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 la.
Ah, I can actually shoot and aim. Can do none of that in Resident Evil. I was here for some reason. I don't remember anymore. Oh, well, there's something in front of me that you want me. What? I was told to come here, and I don't know why. Wait. Oh, there it is. Wait, how do I get over there? Or is that me on the map? I can't tell. That's Samus. So what was the yellow dot I saw? Wait, what? Great, I must have imagined the yellow dot. How did I do that? Now this multi-layer map is cool and whatnot, but if I can't tell depth, what's the point? So I guess you enjoy getting back to, working like you normally do.
Yeah, enormously. I'm always happier when I've got work to do.
Oh boy, I do not know what they want me to find here. I know they told me to come back here for some reason, but I don't remember what they wanted me to do. Is it this? Don't have the spider hole. Boost ball, I should say. Do I not have the boost ball? Oh, no. What the fuck is that? Hold on.
What did you do this time?
No? Touch this. No, I forgot I had an ability that I thought I didn't have at first. This looks like a suit upgrade. Oh, that's right. I'm here for a suit upgrade. Oh, man, but I liked having the red armor. Hey, is this the... Her shoulders are going to be big, aren't they? No? Well, that's disappointing. VR like Ick suit. Suit upgraded with increased resistance to heat from molten rock. Enables Veal to transform into the Veal Ick mode automatically, which allows it to travel over magma and lava. Oh. Wait, what does IC stand for? That's strange. Okay. Oh, hold up. Maybe I can drive, I swear. Seems like my connection, other than it fluctuating. I don't know if I had a setting off that I normally have on. Oh, shoot! Maybe I should save. Don't tell me what's gonna happen. Okay, so I totally expected her shoulders to be much bigger than they are right now. Because normally, there's an upgrade that she gets to her beam that does that. So I don't know if they just don't exist in this game or what.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I gotta get a better microphone at some point. No, I just saying, like, I expected her shoulders to be bigger, but apparently I don't know if that's just not a part of this game or what.
What do you think about the fact that we're at war? Or would you rather not talk about that during your stream?
I don't know if we're really at war yet. That's kind of like a dumb thing to say based on what's happening, but like, I don't really know.
I don't know. Trump's called it a war like 15, 20 times already. He's used the word war.
Yeah, I'm aware what he's done. It just, for me, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's something more than just him saying we're at war that we gotta say that's gotta be confirmed before we can say for certainty.
American soldiers were killed. We are using bombs. Like what crosses the line for you?
I feel like
we've killed the leader of the country. We've killed the leader of their country. Like, I just tell you, like, what additional thing do we need? We've assassinated the leader of their country. We've thrown bombs at them. The president is using the word war. We've lost American troops. We've got money being approved in Congress right now to fund the war, and they've said that this has been planned for months.
That last bit I did not hear.
Yeah, I heard that.
About Congress has to approve that we're at war, not that the actions of the senior douche nozzle being what the final say-so on that is. Oh great, well, they shouldn't be able, well, I say this because I'll tell you what's going to happen, because rules can change, but they shouldn't be able to pull me into this. I say this with not so much certainty, but I am in the select.
You're gonna get drafted. You're gonna get drafted.
I don't think so. I mean, they gotta approve a draft, which is something they haven't done in years.
They don't approve anything anymore. They just do it.
He's first got to use that role, and I don't know if he knows it exists. Though I say this, and somebody's going to tell him eventually, because he found out about some other laws that I know he didn't know about before.
He breaks whatever law he wants, and nobody does anything about it. If they prove that he was like on Epstein's island doing horrible things, like he's still going to be president. No one's gonna hold him accountable. Like there's nothing.
He's an island.
Right. Nothing he does. He could shoot Jesus. Like nothing he does is going to be a situation where he's held accountable. Like so there's no reason for him to follow the rules. So if he wants to make a draft, he'll just do a draft. Like what's stopping him at this point?
I'm not saying like there's a law. I'm just saying like with the way that the draft is made, the other person needs to be aware of it. And I don't know if he's aware of it. There are certain ways, regardless of even him, he's got to follow some procedure. Now, whether he respects that procedure is a different story.
He won't follow it. He hasn't followed any procedures at all, ever. Like he's not going to follow it.
First, he's got to make sure he doesn't have enough. He's got to have enough people. Let me rephrase everything here. First of all, he's got to not have enough people to want to be in a dumb war before he can even consider it. I'll say this: I'm not fighting no dumb war for some idiot trying to hide from the Epstein files. And I mean that.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to go to jail because of the fine,
you'd go to jail rather than do a draft?
Yeah, because I don't want to fight no war. I didn't join the military for a particular reason. I'm not about to be forced into fighting some insane, no real reason. We shouldn't even deal with it right now. And it's all because he doesn't want to talk about the Epstein files. It's so freaking obvious why he's doing this. And again, like you said before, he's gonna get away with it. Yeah. He's just fighting no war. And honestly, if I had to be real about it, even if he were to incorporate drafts, I'm like, they picked much younger candidates anyway. If they had to resort to millennials, then something's gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He has to talk about the Gen Zers and the Gen Alphas and the Gen Zers and Gen Alphas, specifically the Gen Zers, because they're the ones that have to really more. I'm so far down the lottery system for that thing that if I somehow get drafted, something went wrong. And on top of that, I guess I shouldn't say I would go to jail for it. I just say like I definitely fight. Try to find a way that I wouldn't have to go. Because there are ways you can get out of it. He's already like his son apparently is Baron, I should say, has said that he's too tall. Which I find laughable, but whatever.
I'm too tall. I'm too studly to go to the army.
Like he said, he's too tall to be drafted or whatever like that. I guess what I heard. I was like, huh. I don't know how your height has anything to do with anything, but whatever. But then again, what I know, he'll probably find some way, like his father did, so of being drafted. Trump still got them bone spurs. Which we all know he doesn't really have to.
Yeah, I love that he doesn't just go ahead and admit it. Yeah, like, I'm an asshole, don't worry. I didn't really have bone spurs. I don't know why he doesn't just gloat about it now. Haha, I didn't have to fight.
I mean, here's the thing. He'll just say that I didn't say I have bone spurs. That's fake news. I don't even think he remembers why he got out of the military. I'm just surprised. I hope we get out. I hope we don't end up like that. I hope this doesn't end like the Iraq War. That's all I'm looking for. I hope we don't. This isn't like the Iraq War, but it's strangely very similar, kind of. And I really don't like it.
Well, yeah, and every other Middle Eastern war that we've ever had. People are too angry over there to like have peace. Like it's just you can ignore it or you can be part of the cycle of hate. Like everybody's too angry at each other, and no one's gonna stop being angry for a long time. Pretty soon, that's what the U.S. is going to be like too. Everybody's just going to be permanently angry at each other.
I don't know. I have hope that it will be better. I think it just got one a-hole right now. No, I'm not saying it won't ever happen again, but it's like right now. Oh, ow. It's like I have hope that things will get better. But not everybody here is a jerk.
Everything in this game is so blue, green, and pink.
This is psychic energy, and I missed that. Wow, I'm really missing everything. Hold up. Oh, shoot. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. And this is just the blue is just time slowed down. Oh. Dang it. Bots. Hanging around. Oh, on the bright side, it looks like I used to be happy for right now, but instead of the Pokemon series.
Why is that?
Well, it seems like everybody's happy for once on the game. At least now there's just a focus on it looks bad. Still say that's a subjective opinion, but whatever. I can't keep fighting a battle that I know I'm just gonna lose because everybody else has a different opinion on something. Dang it! Maybe I could be a little less anal about talking about it.
Not that you're into it, but the new Vox Machina is coming out pretty soon.
Well, that means they'll get a chance. Well, finally, when they're done, with that, they can work on the other thing.
Yeah.
I wonder, can I use psychic energy to get rid of that cloud? happy you're enjoying it.
Aw, thanks, Boo Boo.
I mean, I've always been happy you've been enjoying it. I just can't get behind it. I just say I just don't enjoy it as much, so I don't really find it that interesting. We talk about shows coming back. It disappoints me that I so far haven't heard anything about the Renny Kenshin show coming back, and I'm like, I think this show is cursed to not be successful. I hate that because I really wanted to finish it, but I guess now it's just too late.
For what?
Kenshin.
Why?
It doesn't seem like it's gonna come back, as far as I can tell. I haven't found anything on it. I mean, I haven't really looked recently. So it's like, I think the show is just cursed. Either because the creator's a pedophile or whatever. I really want the show to finish. I really want to see the final arc and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I waited so long to see it, and now it's like, oh, is it dead? Finally. These are the zombies from Resident Evil 9. I keep bringing them up. I don't really play horror games a lot, but I will say, like, this game and the last horror game I played, not this game, but Resident Evil and the last game I played, those horror games. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. Even if I was getting spooked. Actually, speaking of games, I guess, well, you haven't really been playing. I guess you'll get back to scripting out your Fell playthrough eventually.
Yeah. So I wrote to the creator's a little bit slow to respond to things. I wrote to her, and I'm trying to schedule an interview with her. Hang on a second. So, but she agreed to an interview, like a verbal or audio interview or something like that.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, so we're gonna see. She hasn't responded to my last email though, so she's like sort of really busy. So I have to see if I can really lock this in or not. But she's being friendly and everything. And then I found this game has gone through a lot of iterations over the years, and I found at one point it was reprogrammed from game creation maker called RPG Maker that you could use to make games. And
reprogrammed into what?
Well, originally it was made in RPG Maker, which was like a program that you could use to build RPG games.
No, but what was it? I guess what I'm asking, did she tell you? Well, you don't know. She hasn't talked to you yet. But
what?
You find out like what was it translated into?
Unity. They rebuilt it in Unity.
Oh.
So like completely remade it. But it was released on Steam in RPG Maker format, like an upgraded version of the RPG, like a finalized version of the RPG format before the enhanced version came out years later. And it was a complete overhaul and remade in Steam. The graphics, everything was redone from scratch. Like the story was still really similar. They added like 50% more game now. But I found out that in the game files, if you bought the original, if you bought the original game, when you got the enhanced version, you could still play the older version of the game, the non-enhanced version, so you didn't like lose your games in progress or anything. But to do that, they kept when you buy the enhanced version, you get the legacy version in there. It's like in the game files. You just have to go into the original game files and find it, and you can launch it and play it.
Mhm.
So I played the most updated version of the RPG Maker all the way through. I played the enhanced Unity version all the way through. And there was a version a little bit before that came out that was a few updates earlier where it lacked an epilogue that they added later on. And I found someone on Steam that was playing it. There was just like one person on Steam that played it, and or two maybe. I wrote to him and I asked if I could use footage, and he said I can use as much footage as I want for anything that I want. So I'm going to borrow his footage because there's that version I can't find anywhere. And then the original freeware version of the game, um, from like the RPG Maker when this person was like practically in high school and making this game in 2006. Or I found I found like an early 2007 version of the game that's like drastically different. And I found it using the Wayback Machine. Are you familiar with the Wayback Machine?
I'm familiar.
So I found it. The game is not available online like this. Like there's no live website that has it. But if you went to rfl.com and loaded it into the Wayback Machine, you could find a
Older version of it, or
you could
website?
find like a very, very, very early version of it, like very early version of it that was released as freeware. So I didn't like download it illegal or anything like that. It was a freeware game that just wasn't available for download online anymore. And I just finished playing that one all the way through. So when I do the RFL walkthrough, I have played all four versions. Like I've played four different versions of the game, like with every single one like a little bit different than the others in important ways. And it's given me so much insight on the game because there are things that like they changed in the game without changing other parts. So some parts of the final version of the game don't make as much sense unless you know how the story changed from the original. So, for example, at the end of the game in the enhanced version, towards the end of the game in the enhanced version, you walk into an area called the Holy Land, and one of the characters says, "Oh, I was just here recently," and he explains the layout of the area to you. In that version of the game, you just assume, well, he's kind of a treasure hunting character anyway. He just went here, and they're just kind of working that in because it's convenient for the plot. But in the original version of the game, in the opening scene, they show him in there getting an important artifact that in the final version of the game, a different character gets. So in the original version of the game, when he said that, he was actually referring to the opening scene of the game where you see him actually in the Holy Land. But in the final version of the game, they just kept that dialogue in and let you kind of like use your imagination. So there's like a lot of little insights like that I'll have. And then there's some funny things where like there's this demon in the enhanced version that they summon, and the demon comes out and like this guy's like gonna the guy tricks you into helping him summon this demon. The demon comes out and he's like, now I'm gonna take over the world with this demon, and the demon is just this mindless beast and eats the guy that summoned him, and then you have to fight and kill the demon yourselves. It's funny because in the original version of the game, he summons a demon, but it just looks like a big dragon. And the big dragon comes out and he's like, "No, I don't think I'm in the mood to fight today." What? And he's like very proper and peaceful acting, and then you do end up fighting him, but for a long time you think you might not actually have to fight this guy. And it's a completely different vibe, like from like this Cthulhian horror that like you summon in the final version from like this cute little like dragon scene that you have in the original. There's a lot of fun stuff like that I'll be able to talk about. Like, I don't know. And then I found two of her other old games for download that were games that she built before that she doesn't even count as like full games. And I'm playing through a little bit of those just to get the idea of what they're like. I'll probably finish playing them, but they're very incomplete games. So like, I don't even know how. I think one is just a demo, and the other one I think is a complete game, but like, only technically. You know what I mean? So I'm playing through those right now, and I run out of Hero of the Kingdom videos at the end of the month, so I've really got to try to get some videos out by the beginning of um by like the beginning of April. So I'm running out of time a little bit if I want to keep my schedule going.
You'll be fine. I mean, you got the entirety of the month of no, I almost said November, March. Okay, maybe I am loud enough. I'm just imagining it. Though I guess like as I am testing out microphones for personal use stuff like that, I will know how the beacon. I'm really interested in the beacon microphone mainly because I've been hearing as of the like I'm telling you, I'm discovering so much about like certain aspects of things that I do. Like I've always heard audio was such an important part, and I understand that. I really do. Not like I never did. It's just that I've been so horrible at it, and I've been never really spent the time trying to fix it. So now that I'm actually trying to spend some time to fix it, I am learning a lot, and I'm learning the freaking there's a bottomless pit of audio out there, and I'm learning that some things that some things I want, some things that that probably will help me, and some things I just don't flat out need.
Mm-hmm.
One of those things actually being the on the I don't need category is share a microphone, and I've learned over the course of doing this that the share a microphone stuff is like studio, well, not studio, but like I guess it's like studio level. Like it's a microphone that it's really expensive, but that is, but also like it's pretty much like standard. It's a standard microphone that people use, but it costs so dang much. And I was like, because I've seen it I've seen it everywhere. I mean, a good example of some place that is actually used is, I'm pretty sure you're aware of the guy called Rogan. I forget his actual full name. The dude who backed Trump a lot during the first term, who has a podcast. He uses it, and a lot of people use it because it's really good, because they can hear it from his voice and it sounds really good. So a lot of people in the YouTube space use it. But like I started learning that there's other microphones out there that are better or just as good. And I learned about the Rode Pod mic, which is what I'm using right now. It doesn't sound bad. It's just I feel like there's definitely some improvement, but I think I've reached the peak of what I can do with it. But then there's also other microphones and other equipment that actually have built-in like pieces of hardware that do certain things that on their own, that take away from the processing power that the PC needs to give. So like I can like, it seems like I can like improve the clarity of my voice, and I'm hoping that maybe I can make it sound louder. I strayed away from USB into XLR territory, and now I'm about to stray back into USB. So maybe maybe Monday it will sound better, or I'll sound where I need to be. But
Yeah.
I'm learning, I'm learning a lot unnecessarily about certain things. I've also learned there's microphones out there that have a heat sink, and that scares me. So I'm kind of staying away from that. I've learned like, because there's also people who do vocal stuff, and like that's where like the real mess is. Oh, I can scan that. Significant leak from lava transport pipe. Exercise caution as direct contact with lava may cause injury. Quickly cooling the lava will briefly halt its flow. What's this? Lava pipe underside torn open by seismic activity. The pipe appears to be leaking against entire lava payload. But I'm glad you're able to do what you're doing, and you're able to put so much effort to it. A part of me is like, a part of me wishes I could go back to doing. Well, I guess I could. I could always do that. I just haven't had the desire to go back and doing it, recording stuff. Like I've noticed, because like whenever like I guess it's a good example because I've been having really weird Wi-Fi problems. That I hope I solved. But I'm learning. I gotta go back and like do some stitching together of clips because like they get separated and Twitch doesn't care, so they're not gonna put it back together on the back end. So I have to do it myself. And it's like that. Well, that's cool and everything. Man, that's a lot of extra work for something I'm just trying to do. That I'm doing the streaming thing because it's a lot easier and I can produce clips I can produce content much faster and have it uploaded when I want to. But I was thinking like, well, maybe there's some use to being able to edit because like I have noticed that like I can't believe how much more powerful my computer is because there was a point before when I was releasing content on YouTube strictly where it would take me like all day to have a video get rendered. Like all day, and that was back when I had a lower powered PC, and that's when I was doing things daily. Now I'm realizing that like because I can get a video made, and I'm not even kidding you, 5 minutes, I mean 5 minutes or under. I'm like, that is so quick compared to what I'm used to. But then I guess I'm also rocking around with 64 gigabytes of RAM, so there's also that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like there's some overhead that I'm not aware of, but like, at the same time, I was like, I really wish back when I was doing YouTube daily, I just had that kind of power, but I didn't, and I worked with what I had. But I think like maybe I can do the Pokemon series when they come out next year, their game, but I haven't really decided on that yet.
What would you do with it if you could?
Huh?
What would you do with it if you could?
With the Pokemon series? I
yeah.
mean, I just do what I normally would do. I mean, like,
Oh, okay.
Because like, I would have a layout, and then I would have basically an episodic series. But every time like there's a new team member to my team, I'm gonna be adding, it would appear on the thing. Now, granted, I guess I would maybe do a little bit more if I was solely doing that, maybe. But at the same time, like, I'm not Chuck Conroy who can tell you each Pokemon on each route and like their chances and whatnot. Like I'm not that type of informative. Never have. I've been informative to a certain point. Like I have when I was doing Pokemon originally, I would definitely give like tips about like what I'm doing in a certain battle. But that's only because I had the time to play it by myself, and then that Let's Play happened many years later. So I mean, there was definitely some fun to be had when I was doing that for sure. I think I just burnt myself out because I was doing it daily, and I was going to college. And then I went from college to working in Target, and it wasn't getting anywhere with it, in terms of like being able to put more effort or putting more of my time into it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was like, I wonder if I can get back to streaming on YouTube. I just don't know, because like Twitch does not like it, and I mean Twitch does not like it when you try to dual stream from them to something else. They killed I think it's Restream. Well, no, Restream still exists, but there was something that I know they killed because they didn't like it. Ooh. That allowed you to like to stream to them and then. And then out to YouTube, whatever. If I could do it over again, I probably would stream to YouTube, but yeah. Hindsight's 2020. Speaking of 2020, the current president, we might have another 2020. I don't want to wish that on anybody. That's not maybe really wishing it. I'm just like, I got the strangest feeling with the amount of diseases that are coming out, and I'm pretty sure he still thinks COVID was a hoax.
Who does?
Huh?
Who does? Chugga?
No, Trump.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he does.
No, I just saying,
or either he thinks so or he wants us to think so.
Basically, I mean, what I was trying to say, because you get the entire thing. I was like, speaking of hindsight's 2020. I was like, speaking of 2020, we might have another 2020 event. Not that I'm wishing that on anything. It just feels like we might. If the last 4 years that he was in office was any proof of anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I know that we're very anti-vax now as a country, which is really silly and stupid. I know that a lot of things that were all but eliminated in the country, or were eliminated at least in the U.S., like are now pandemics again, like measles and stuff like that.
I think once we get RFK out of there, we might. Well, nothing's guaranteed. But, I think we'll be better off. I guess that's my hope. I know it's not just RFK; it's a bunch of other things. But I don't think people are just now anti-vax. There are people who are always anti-vax. It's just people weren't as vocal about it.
People are always anti-vax. Yeah, I heard. I heard what you said, but they've been anti-vax for a long time. But now, like, it used to not really be up to them, and now it's becoming kind of a problem.
I mean, not that I have kids. I'm just saying, it's up to the parent at this point that if they really want to, they like. I mean, yeah, I understand you talking about it really shouldn't be. You need to, people need to protect themselves, and a lot of people have a problem with being forced to go and see a doctor or what have you. Some people think that doctors are evil. There's just a bunch of people there's just a bunch of reasons people have for being anti-vax. And some people think that that the chemicals you're putting in your body are bad. In some cases chemicals are bad, but not when it comes to trying to prevent all the vaccines are there to do, and people need to understand this is to introduce them to your body so that way your body knows how to make the antibodies necessary to protect yourself when you do get
Mhm.
infected. And that's a big if you get infected. Nothing's guaranteed.
Well, you're probably going to get chicken pox and stuff.
I
There's
already
there's
got
certain
chickenpox.
things.
It already happened.
You know what I mean? Well, I think they have a vaccination for it now, but that what I mean is like there's stuff that like, of course, there's no guarantee that you're going to get sick. Like you're not trying to get sick, but there's some stuff that's likely enough where it's worth it. Like you're going to get the flu sooner or later in your life. That's pretty much a guarantee. You know that at least once in your life you will get the flu. You know,
I don't think
stuff
I've
like
ever gotten
that.
the flu.
Oh my freaking god, dude. Okay, but the other 99.9% of people have. Okay.
I mean, we back up because you flipped out. I was about to say myself, I can't say if I never have had, because there was that one moment there was that one time, and I forgot what year it was, that I told you that we all got sick in the house, and I don't know what the heck it was. That honestly could have
Mhm.
been the flu, because that was probably the worst I felt under the weather than I have ever in my
Mhm.
entire life. And I at first I thought
Mhm.
maybe it would have been COVID, but I never really considered the flu, because I will say I don't think, yeah, I don't think we had the flu shot in us before then when that happened either. So it's possible
Yeah.
that I might have caught the flu, but my problem is I don't, and I'm not blaming my coworkers, but as far as I can tell, during that year, I don't think any of them was sick. So I don't even know if there was somebody in the building that just was sick. Which I mean, I won't, I can't say that they weren't. I feel like I did a good job of making sure that I wasn't around people that were sneezing, but whatever.
I mean, you can just get it from a door handle. Like it doesn't.
I still just feel like I feel like I did a good job. I washed my hands. I did everything. Use hand
Mhm.
sanitizer, and somehow I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So yeah, I don't know what the heck I had. Still don't. Not that I really care that much to find out, but it was
Yeah.
probably the worst I felt. So I can't say that wasn't the flu, but I find it hard to believe that it was. But then I don't know what it was then, so that's the other thing. Yeah, I understand you talking about with the flu and I mean the just vaccine, but at the same time, it's you could do your best to make sure you don't get most things. You just now sometimes you'll end up like me. You don't know what you got when you got sick, but hey, some people I think you'll always end up like that at one point in your life where what did I get? What did I touch? What door handle did
Mhm.
I lick? In
You're
not
licking door handles. That might be
no
part of it.
no. I'm not looking at door handles. No, shut up. Shut up. We're not. No, I mean that's not a lie. I'm gonna spread our propaganda, whatever. I guess I actually feel kind of bad for Jasmine Crockett. After she
Why?
found out she had lost, she was kind of sounding really sad. I didn't know she really, really wanted to, try to be on, try to go for the Senate race in Texas. But it sounded like she was really upset when she found out that she wasn't going to be the one representing Texas.
I don't like the guy. I'm I like Jasmine Crockett. I if the guy won that I think won, I haven't seen the results, but I know the guy that was the front runner. I actually really don't like him.
You don't like Tallarico?
I don't like him. So I would have much rather had Jasmine Crockett.
Okay, I mean, I hear you, but
He's the one that he's the one that Steve Colbert like interviewed, right?
I don't know. I don't know who Tallarico was. I just found out that he was the one that won. I don't even know
Hang on.
when would have Stephen Colbert? What interview are you referring to? Like what year?
Give me a second. James Tallarico. Is that who you're thinking of?
I know the last name Tallarico. I don't know his first name. That might be. It's just
Tallarico. Yeah, that's the guy. I saw he had an interview with Steve Colbert on the Late Show, and they wouldn't air it because they said that there was a rule that doesn't apply to TV talk shows, but they decided it was going to apply anyway. That if he interviewed him, then he had to interview the other candidates, and it's not a rule, and they just decided it was, and he was really mad. Colbert was really upset, and he's not going to be the host there anyway in a couple months. So he said, "I'm not going to be the host in a couple
Oh,
months anyway. Watch us on YouTube." And because of that, it became his most watched ever YouTube video, and he's had some big ones. And I watched the interview because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch the interview that they said we can't watch. So I made a big point to go watch it.
did he say something you didn't agree with?
I didn't like him. I didn't. There wasn't anything I was polar disagree with, but I really didn't like him. I didn't like the way he looked at the world. I didn't like what he had to say, and everybody celebrated because it was a big PR move. You know what I mean? For everybody to like for him to stick it to the man and put it on his YouTube channel and have more people watch it than if he had aired it normally. And I'm all for that. But when I actually watched it, I concluded I didn't like him. So I don't know what to tell you about that, but
Like, here's
I,
my thing, and
I
this
watched
might.
him and I'm like, oh, I'm really glad that Steve Colbert did this, and also I hope he doesn't win. And then when I found out later that he was running against Jasmine Crockett, who I really like, then I was like even more disappointed because I would have liked her to have her say too.
Here's my thing, and nothing against Jasmine Crockett. I actually really like her. Like I really, she caught my attention last year.
Hmm.
Wait, was it last year? I forgot when she was very outspoken. I know there was a point when she caught my attention. I was like, oh, I gotta keep my eye on her because she seems very outspoken. So here's my thing, and this is just for one black person. Now that black person, Jasmine, if you ever see this, I love you. But at the same time, um, I almost prefer him winning, and I say this because we've had two times when a woman has tried to win anything in a really high seat of power, and they always seem to get demolished because of it. For a multitude of reasons, from somebody not wanting to vote for a woman, I just feel like the Democrats really need to. This is just my point of view. This isn't like this. This is my point of view. The Democrats, we need to like focus on our message before we start trying to do anything like I wouldn't say crazy, but doing something nuanced. And I feel like
Hmm.
having a woman candidate pushing them in anything is not we're not at the right time right now in history because like my biggest thing, and I will say not that I liked the Trump one, but I had a feeling that he might win, and I just didn't voice it because I wasn't sure if like it was. I think I said it to you that I don't know if America is ready for a woman president. And I was
It
proven
doesn't
right.
mean that we can't just have a woman in government, though. Like Jasmine Crockett's not necessarily going for government for president.
No, it's not that. I would like what I'm saying is like I just don't know if they would vote for a woman in those regards because we've already seen regression in that regard as it is. Putting her, putting her in there as much as I would love for her to have won. Trust me, I would
Mhm.
have loved for her to win. I don't.
Mhm.
I'm not. This is like I would have really loved, but at the same time, it's like even with as outspoken as serious and direct as she is, there's there's always been an issue with some people saying they don't want to vote for a woman on anything. It seems like it's becoming a huge thing. It's like putting. I feel like all you're really doing if you put a woman in there, is you're giving them you're giving people who don't want to vote for a woman a reason to vote for the other party, regardless of like what their
Mhm.
viewpoint is, if they don't even agree. That's what happened with Trump. I can guarantee you a good portion of those people just voted for him because they didn't want to vote for Kamala. And it's like
Yeah.
I don't know if this would have same but the same thing would have applied to the Senate, but I don't want to take
I
chances.
just to
That's
throw in on Kamala. I think Kamala being a woman put her at a disadvantage for sure. But I also think that Kamala didn't really have the chance that she needed. She got crowbarred to the running way too late. Biden didn't want to give it up, and then he all of a sudden at the very end he like gave it up because he was doing so badly. And then they're like Kamala, Kamala, and they all like everybody scrambled for Kamala, and it wasn't enough time for her to get even if she wasn't a woman, it wasn't enough time for her to get the momentum it needed to take on somebody like Trump. And it was just the Democrats are so weak. Like I don't disagree with the Democrats as often as I disagree with the Republicans by a long shot, like by a very, very long shot. But they're so weak. They don't stand up very often to anything. They don't make strong decisions like in politics, and it really screws them up. And a lot of them, they're very spineless sometimes. And Jasmine Crockett is not spineless or any of those things. And I've seen her make a lot of stands that are meaningful and not just like theater. And I would have appreciated more Jasmine Crockett in the world. So I don't know. I had a lot of respect for her.
well, I agree with you on everything there, even with the Kamala thing. But the thing is, what I want to say is, I have I completely dropped. I mean, I don't know like what the whole woman thing. I really don't want to pin this on somebody's gender. That's really nothing to really do with anything. But what I will say is that gender really has had a huge impact on people's decision making. I have never thought I would say this in America, where I've heard so many people, not even just men, saying that they wouldn't vote for a woman. I've heard from people that they're saying they're female. The females in their family wouldn't vote for a female. That's really taken me back because I wouldn't expect misogyny from their own gender, but regardless. And even Jasmine Crockett, I'm not saying Jasmine Crockett doesn't stand a chance. And another thing too is like, I want her. I want what I want really to happen is I want Jasmine Crockett to come back and try to run again. And even in that case, we're really close to basically a presidential election. Honestly, with how outspoken she is, and I like that, I would almost like for her to attempt to run, even if she doesn't really get chosen on the Democratic Party, because yeah, they are spineless. But I feel like if she were at the helm, she would have a better chance than Kamala Harris. And if anything, Kamala Harris could also run to help boost her as well. In a way, say, look, I'm just as outspoken, but she's even more outspoken. Vote for her. It's like right now, it's like, I will say a lot of people don't think about this, but the only reason why Trump won is because he's run against two female candidates. He lost when he ran against Joe Biden. It's been really weird how he's been able to utilize the gender of the other opponent really freaking well, and I don't know why the Democrats let that happen twice. They should have saw it when it happened with Hillary Clinton, but and then they let it happen again later. And it's
They
also not
didn't have
Kamala's.
anybody but Kamala. Who were they going to run? All the strong Democrats right now are female, except for Pete Buttigieg, who's a homosexual. Like, what name a strong male Democrat? The best Democrats are all female right now.
What
Gretchen
about the guy that's
Whitmer,
ahead of the?
Elizabeth Warren, Jasmine Crockett, like AOC, like all the most popular and strongest and most like doing something like Democrats are all female right now, except
What
for
about
Pete
the
Buttigieg.
what about the dude that's the head of the head of the Democratic Party? Not
Oh,
not Schumer.
Cory Booker.
No, the black guy.
Uh,
Jeffrey something. I forgot his name. Like basically he's the dude who's supposed to be taking. Well, as far as I'm aware, I think he's supposed to be taking over for Schumer whenever Schumer stepped
Hakeem
down. Which,
Jeffries,
yeah, Hakeem Jeffries. I feel like
Democratic leader in the U.S. House of Reps. I, you're not gonna like this, but I just don't know anything about him.
man, that's fine. I mean, he's been very outspoken too. I mean, he actually, and I'm not even kidding, he's actually gone on record a lot of times saying "F Trump." Not saying that that's really the most like strong position to have, but he stated. And I like how he talks. I mean, specifically though, I will say Hakeem Jeffries. I feel like maybe he should be taking over for Schumer, because over the course of a couple of years now, last year I've really hated Schumer. He as you said before, they don't stand for anything. He really doesn't stand for much of anything. Even when he does try to be cool and hip, I hate using that word, cool and hip. He kind of falls short. And like the whole idea that he's always tried to, he says like the shutdown would have been bad, and then he also says the shutdown could be used as leverage. He doesn't seem to stick with it, and I feel like we wouldn't be in a situation right now with some of the laws if he had just did not give up on everything last year. Yeah, the government shutdown would have been really bad, but you could have really sold that this was the Republicans' fault. Like you could have really sold it, but he didn't. He gave up, and that really pissed me off. So that's why whenever he does talk about shutdowns, I don't really listen to him anymore, because he suddenly changes on a dime. I don't understand why he like. I mean, I know AOC has said that we need to get rid of him too. But not get rid of him, but he needs to step down. I know a lot of like some of those female candidates you're talking about have talked about him stepping down in some regard. It's just Schumer is really not good. I think there's a point when he was like he was good for the party, but I think that time has long since stopped. I mean, long since passed. Fix the maintenance tanks used for. Wait, what? Fixed points that the maintenance tanks use for attaching a wire for rapid ascension and descent. They can also be used with psychic spatterball, which I do not have.
I don't know, but you hear what I'm saying about the Democrats? Like, I just remember I'm not a Democrat myself. I'm a independent, and the reason I do that is because I don't like the idea. I don't think that we serve our country well by taking sides. Like, I do what I think is right and what I think is best for the country, and like, party and power be damned. So that's sort of my take on it. But I don't know how I don't know how I could ever support a Republican in the next 20 years. It would take a very, very big change in the world for me to feel like I could ever support a Republican again. But that doesn't mean that I bar none agree with the Democrats either, you know. But I think what's disappointing is I want the Democrats to be doing well, and I watch them and I'm just like, you guys aren't doing anything right now. Like, you're just completely rolled over and on your back. And that's it. And even the non-career Democrats are really not protesting that much or speaking out that much. Both sides are memeing and posting on Reddit and crap like that, but like I don't know, I'm just not seeing anything from the Democrats that I find is impressive from most of the Democrats. And like I said, Jasmine Crockett's one of the standouts in that respect, but that's not for the most part, not really.
Well, be real. Let's be real here then. I don't know if she could have because I mean, yeah, I'm speaking from the concept that no female has won the presidency. I just don't. I feel like it will bleed over into the lower courts, because it just doesn't seem like it's gonna stay there. It doesn't like. I mean, I would like for her to win. I just don't believe that. I think her gender is gonna hinder her, and I really don't want that to be the case, because like it just seems like But it's like every time I thought that maybe we moved on and people aren't going to be that misogynistic, then I see that they are, and I'm like, I can understand racism. Well, no, I take it back. I don't understand racism, but I know it's still here. The misogyny is the one that really confuses me. But that's just me. As a dude, as a non-white dude that doesn't understand why some people can be as sexist as they are. Because even Hillary didn't win, and she was a white woman. That still baffles me. Like, to this day, I don't know what happened there.
I feel like people didn't vote for Hillary because she didn't smile enough or something like that. Like, I feel like it was some really sexist reason, because there's no person in the United States more qualified to be president by sheer force of resume that hasn't been president yet than Hillary Clinton.
Well, man, that's what I think. It's like, to me, it's like, it's not even, and I guess on top of that, it's like, it's not even just that Jasmine Crockett's a woman. She's also black, and they're really trying to make sure they don't put another brown person in any sort of power. I mean, Hakeem Jeffries is the lone exception to that rule, but
The
it seems like they're,
token, kind of.
huh?
The token, kind of. And I don't mean that as a joke. I mean, like, the Democrats always, there's always a black person that's the token black person, and I feel like maybe that's what they're doing there.
I don't know. You say that. I don't think so. They don't really treat him as like he's supposed to be. He's there as like a. They're trying to make appease to the black community because like.
No,
But
they used to do this with like Colin Powell, for example. Like the president would always like make sure that they picked one black person and put them in like a prominent spot somewhere, and that it used to be exactly one black person, and right now we have exactly one black person. Still, black people are still very underrepresented, but we have exactly one black person in a prominent spot as the Democrats. That's why I
I
said
don't.
it that way. Maybe it's not true. Maybe that's undermining the fact that he worked his way to get there and deserves it. Maybe it's not the nicest thing to say, but like I always get suspicious. Let me put it, and especially since I don't know anything really about him, but I always get suspicious when there's exactly one black person in a authority position. You know what I mean?
I don't think that that's what the purpose of him is, just to show goodwill. I really don't think so. I know that's not as like what you're saying, but that's like what I'm getting from the way you're saying he's a token black person. Because I feel like if that was the case, they would put him in more places than where he's currently at. And Trump doesn't even seem to really care all that much about or for him. And I don't even know when Hakeem Jeffries showed up there. Because to me, he kind of just showed up out of nowhere. But I know he's been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if he was there when Obama was there.
I'll tell you what, though, if Trump breaks the 2-term rule, I'm voting for Obama. Even if Obama doesn't run, I'm going to write him in. If Trump says like I'm going to run again, the 2-term rule is gone. Like I'm totally voting for Obama.
Oh, he's been there since 2000. Wait, Hakeem has never served in the since. He's member of the House of Representatives representing the 8th National District since 2013. So he's been there for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, Obama said that,
All right.
I heard that
You
you
know what?
can do a
I'm gonna retract that statement about the token thing and just say that I will stick with my comment that I always get suspicious about that, but I'm gonna retract that because I feel like I'm taking away the fact that he probably earned it and deserves it. But I'm gonna retract that part of my statement and stick with the part that where I always, because the other part's not bad. Do you know what I mean? To be vigilant, but it's probably not fair.
Yeah, I don't think he's a. I mean, he could easily. This could be just by naivety. I understand that this is racism and over time has become highly flammable. Oh, I didn't read that. Like, why is that metal flammable? But at the same time, I just I don't know. I want you to see the best in people, and that maybe that's just also the naivete in it all. But I don't know
Yeah.
much about him either. I didn't even know he existed until like this year, no, last year, when they're trying to like, when there was like a huge effort to try to undermine Trump, and it didn't work.
Hmm.
I guess speaking of undermining Trump or whatever, or just finding out things not working, I really am disappointed. I guess not that I cared about JD Vance at all, but I'm like really disappointed in just like that man's switch. Like a part of me feels like, and this might just be me being jaded out. This might be me being jaded because of the fact that like back when Trump was running for the first term, he said he was the worst president. He was the worst choice for president ever. And all of a sudden, the moment that he gets chosen, when Trump gets chosen for president for the Republicans, he ends up switches his opinion on him, and it continues to lie for the dude. What the hell?
No, he's not alone. Plenty of people have bent over for Trump. Marjorie Taylor Greene is like a very confusing person right now in politics.
I haven't
She's
thought about her in a while.
basically saying F, like, not even basically, like, she's literally saying F you to the Republicans lately.
Oh, I mean, well, from what I understand is like just she's now realizing that there was snake oil in half that stuff that was going on.
I think she knew about it. I think she just decided that it no longer served her interest. But if that's somebody I want no part of, I don't care. I don't care if I'm like falling off a cliff and she's the only one there to take my hand. Like, I might do it because it's no other choice. But like, that's someone I want no part of, good or bad. I just want her to go away.
I mean, I just want her to be safe because considering she sounds like Trump is sending threats against her. That's all I really care about. I don't want her dying because of some dumb
I
reason.
don't really. There's a lot of better things to worry about than whether or not she's going to get killed.
That's the only thing I'm really. It just feels like to me, based off what I'm hearing, she says, I was hearing not even just from her, like just other sources that people were giving her death threats, which is like that's really concerning when we're supposed to be about like, everybody having their own opinion, but whatever.
All sorts of people get death threats, and some people are actually getting death. I'm going to kill you. Is like, you know, I don't know. I have better things to worry about than her well-being. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not actively saying I wish bad on her or anything like that, but there's so many better things to worry about than this, if this horrible person is going to be safe.
Oh, damn. Stupid turrets. Turrets. I missed something when I was reading it again.
What did you say?
No, I
You
missed
missed
something
something
when
what?
I missed something when I was running through here. I just gotta find it. It's online. What did he want me to do in here? What? How many people gave up healthcare because they couldn't afford it?
How many people gave it up?
Yeah.
I have a sad story about healthcare, if you're interested. This is the part where you tell me whether or not you're interested.
I mean, you could go ahead. I wasn't gonna stop
No. You know how I made a lot of my friends through LiveJournal when I used to be on LiveJournal?
you. No, but go ahead.
No. A lot of my better friends came from the early mid 2000s when I spent a lot of time on LiveJournal. I made a lot of my friends I made online were either through that or people I dated and then stayed friends with afterwards are like a really good portion of my friends. And the there was this one guy. He was an older guy at that time. He's probably 50s, which doesn't seem quite as old now, but it was older when I was in my 20s. He He's a really, really sweet, kind guy, and he was very giving and a very gentle spirit. And he would, I wasn't like. I used to run an online community on LiveJournal, and he was one of the moderators, and I was the head of the community. And that community was a big deal to me, and he was just always there offering his help, and I could always rely on him. And anything he said he'd do, and he was never any problem, and he was always like really good about everything, and I was appreciative of him. And I was friends with him as well, and I'd follow his stories and stuff. And he, for 3 or 4 days, he was talking about how he wasn't feeling very well, and people would go into the comments and say like, you should go to the hospital. And he's like, I can't afford it. I don't have the health insurance. I'm just gonna ride it out. And everybody in his comments were like, I really think you should, after he'd written about it for a few days in a row, they're like, I really think you should do something about it. And he just kept saying this, I'm sorry, it's just not an option. I can't do it. And then he died. He stopped posting, and then somebody that knew him reached out, and they found out that he died. And they let everybody know. And that was it. Makes me wonder a lot of times how often something like that happens.
I know it happens a lot.
Yeah,
I know you know that. I'm just saying, like, it happens a lot.
Yeah, it just was sad. It was just really sad. I was like, oh man. And and then he wasn't around to help anyone out anymore, or do the kind things that he was always doing with his time, And maybe like a couple tests and some pills would have saved his life. We don't know. But nobody could be bothered. But yeah, I wonder about that kind of stuff a lot. I also, and this isn't maybe as fair to him, but I also wonder a lot if there was help out there that he didn't try to get. Because sometimes if things are really bad, like you can get help, or you can choose to go in debt or something. But it just wasn't his way. He just didn't. That wasn't the way what he chose for himself.
Some people don't want to go in debt for that kind of thing.
Well, I don't blame him. I mean, it's my friend Derek had his appendix burst when he was about 22, and at that time we were making like $8 an hour, and he had just like a month or two before gotten a job where he had health insurance. It was like his first one in his life he'd ever gotten where he had health insurance. He was just really lucky that he got it at the almost exact same time that his appendix burst because he had health insurance for it. But I think he was in the hospital for like a day or two, and they did the surgery and got it taken care of and got him back up on his feet. But those 2 days, I think he told me the bill came to like $30,000 or something. in 2002, which is probably a lot more than that now. But if that hadn't happened, $30,000 was more than he made in a year. You know, so it's like 2 days in the hospital was as valuable as a year of work to make up for it. And he'd probably be like, you go to community college for $30,000. You know, like you could graduate from a community college for $30,000 easily. Even today, I think you could. So it's just ridiculous how little a year's salary would go if you got sick. You know.
You don't tell Trump. He thinks the affordability crisis is a hoax.
He thinks groceries is an old-fashioned word. Like,
I'm not. Well, listen, this is. I'm not saying this stuff to detract or make things funny. I'm just saying
yeah,
like what I've heard this man literally say. And while
yeah.
yes, you are correct that he thinks that groceries is an old world term. That's because he never had to shop for them. I don't think this man's been inside of a Piggly Wiggly. And yes, I said Piggly Wiggly. I mean, like I heard from my father. Apparently, like that cereal line that they got on that cereal line that he was walking through. He didn't even know half the cereal that was there.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you
I
serious?
don't I don't know what a Piggly Wiggly is.
It's just a grocery store in the south.
Oh, okay. I went they had some funny gas station chain in the Midwest when I lived in Iowa. Have you ever heard of Come and Go?
No, I hardly know her. No,
Exactly. It was spelled with a K too. It was KUM and Go. And you could get Come and Go t-shirts and stuff like that.
I
Like they
don't
would
want
sell
that.
shirts with Come and Go on them.
Not even for the joke do I want that.
I went there a few years ago and I bought one and brought it back for one of my friends and gave it to him as a joke. You know, another fun webs. Have I ever told you where I get a lot of my aquarium fish? You know how I buy them online?
I didn't know you gift fish like that online.
Yeah, I mean, how do you think the pet stores get them? They drive down to the local breeder. Like, pet stores get them in boxes and stuff too.
I
But
feel like that's
most
inhumane.
of my what?
I feel like that's inhumane. Where's PETA? But continue. Sorry, didn't mean to stop you.
That's how everybody gets their fish. Like, if you go to a pet store, they get like a shipment and it comes in a truck and stuff like that. I I find that it's better to just have them sent to my house because when you order them at a pet store, they go into a box and then they go into an aquarium. They just barely get used to the aquarium, and then you buy them, and then they go into a bag, and then they go into your aquarium. And they've got to acclimate to two different aquariums, and chances of death are a lot higher. I find that the fish live a lot more if I just buy them and have them delivered that way. Um, but there's two websites that I've found are especially good to buy from. eBay's pretty good too, believe it or not. But one of them is called Aquatic Arts. Really, really good website for buying fish. And the other one, which is slightly better, is called The Wet Spot. And they have Wet Spot t-shirts that you can buy. I don't know if you know the joke behind what Wet Spot means, though. Are you still there?
No, that that was that was too much even for me. Really? What
Do you know
spot?
what the Wet Spot is?
No, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna tell me.
If you if you have sex and it's really good sex, afterwards there's going to be a wet spot, and it's called the wet spot.
I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Okay.
Try not to use the
Did that
not
turn
trying
you
to have
on
a
or
wet
something?
spot
Is that why
here.
you got to go to the bathroom now? All that stuff talking about sex, and now you got to go use the bathroom.
All right.
Did you get that out of your system now? You feeling a little better now? Post nut clarity and all?
I hate you.
The wet spot
Right.
isn't that gross. It's just sort of a reality.
No, I'm not saying it was gross. I just I hate you for that.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know how you finding two places that are like basically giant glorified sex jokes. One of them kind of being a dick joke.
I'm
but
not
still.
sure if the wet spot knows. I'm sure they figured it out afterwards, but I don't know if they went into it knowing. Because that term, the wet spot, is not as mainstream as other possible, you know. I don't know if they knew or not. I think they know now, but I don't know if they always knew.
Makes you think they know now.
Surely somebody like took them aside and let them know at some point. Hey, do you know what your business name means? And they're like, well, it's too late to change it now. And if anything, maybe people think it's funny and link to us or something, you know. But I don't know because they're very professional and there's no suggestions on their website of nothing suggestive or innuendo bent. You know what I mean? Or anything like that. It's a really, really good web. Like it's the best. They're the best. Like they're the best out there for fish. If you're trying to buy, if you're trying to buy pet supplies, I'm sorry. If you're trying to buy freshwater plants, Dustin's Fish Tanks is the best place to go. And again, eBay is really good for freshwater plants.
I just don't trust eBay of any kind. Like their reputation for me in my regard has been tarnished.
The thing about aquarium, they're really expensive, and people on eBay are willing to sell from like their extra plants from their aquarium for not very much money compared to like what you'd have to buy them in somewhere else.
No, I get that, and I believe you guys. I just don't trust people when selling on those sites because, like, the scam that so many people are running has already been revealed. And I will say, I understand. You know, people have changed. They're not the same people, but it's like I still don't trust them. Because even like scalping is still a huge problem, and it's
What is
on
it?
eBay scalping.
Oh yeah.
Not that I've been.
I don't necessarily trust eBay, but I'll put $15 on the line for some plants if they've got a good reputation. I avoid eBay. I don't like eBay as a business very much. I try to buy from Etsy instead, but even Etsy's got a lot of problems with scammers right now. You can go there and like find things for sale that do not exist. I bought some plant seeds on Etsy recently, or a couple years ago, and they sent them in, and I planted them, and what grew did not look like the plant, and I identified it as a weed. They just sent us weed seeds. Instead of sending us like real seeds, they sent us weeds.
I guess you just threw the weeds out. You didn't need a weed whacker,
Well,
did you?
I reported it, but yeah. I went on Etsy and bought what was supposed to be handmade pottery, and it said it was from China, but I was like, well, I'll be open-minded. There can be potters in China too. And they came in, and I really liked them. The only downside to them is that if you tried to microwave them, they would pop, and they had warned me about that. They wrote me an email one day and said, "Hey, if you liked everything, leave us a good review." And I wrote back and I said, "Well, I'd leave you a good review, but I'm not. I think I would have liked it if you told me that they crack in the microwave, and I don't appreciate, you know what I mean, that I found out by breaking one. And they never responded to me, and I'm like, all right, well, no review for you. You know what I mean? And I just left it at that. And a while later, another one broke, and I was like, well, I kind of wanted to set a 6 or whatever. We had a certain number that we wanted to have a set for company and stuff like that. And so I was like, well, now I need 2. So I went on to their website and I was going to buy 2. And the company was out of business, or it wasn't selling on Etsy anymore. And I thought, well, that sucks. But sometimes people go on Etsy, will stop selling on Etsy because they built a website. So I thought maybe they built a website. So I took the image of I still had a copy of the image of the bowl from the listing. So I did a reverse image search to see if I could find their website if they ended up moving to a website. And then I found out they were for sale for about half that price on Walmart. So they were just Walmart bowls that they were selling to us and doubling the price. We could have gotten them down the road instead of from China.
I would laugh at the same time. I know that was like not a fun experience.
All right, it cost us about $100. Not my favorite way to lose $100, but it wasn't like life-changingly bad, but it was pretty crappy. But you can find some really silly things. Let me see if they still sell the one that I have in mind on Etsy. And Etsy sellers will also make knockoffs of things and put the same picture up for it, and you're not getting the real thing, you're getting a crappy version of it. Here's an example. I'm going to send you a link on Discord of an Etsy listing. When you get a second, click on that. Or here's an even better one. I sent you an even better one. I can't believe that Etsy allows those things to be sold.
It looks like a pretty plant. Not that I've seen
They don't
plants
exist.
in colors like
They
this.
don't exist. That's not a real plant. It's photoshopped.
Oh, well, they didn't put a lot of effort in this one.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. And it doesn't, like, I'm not it's saying that there's seeds and that if you plant the seeds you'll grow those things, and that does not exist. There's no such thing as rainbow colored hostas.
But it seems like this shop has sold successfully before.
Yeah.
And I mean, but it looks like they also, it doesn't seem like, wait, mixed rainbow.
Jeremy, I will give you $500 if you can grow one of those seeds and get that from it.
I don't have a green thumb or a green toe. I ain't doing that.
I will give you $500 and buy you a book on gardening. If you or anyone you know can grow that. You can even have someone else grow it and tell them you'll give them $250 for it.
No, that ain't worth it. $500 is not worth it.
The truth,
no number you can offer me would be worth it either. So don't even try.
It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. They don't exist.
But all I'm saying is, like, down here, someone said they grew roses, and that's the exact thing that they ordered, is what they said. So I'm just saying, it doesn't seem like they're always lying.
Okay, but you think you can really grow rainbow leaf. If a plant like that existed, don't you think you would have heard of it?
I mean, me maybe not. If I'm being real, just being 100% real.
You
Now,
don't think that if a plant existed that was pink and blue and yellow and green leaves, that it wouldn't be one of the most popular, and it can just sit on your patio and it's easy enough to grow that you can grow it from a seed, that that these wouldn't be fucking everywhere.
you say that, but I didn't even know about a what's the plant? There was a plant that like only that blooms only at night, and I think only blooms once a year or something like that. I didn't even know those existed, and they those aren't exactly as like accessible either. I'm just saying, like, there are.
Those are not like something you can grow on a plant on your patio, well, like in a pot in your patio either, though.
You could probably find some way to do it. I mean, it probably wouldn't
Would
live for
you
long.
fucking shut up, dude?
It wouldn't live for long.
I'm saying this with laughter, but like seriously, my friend, like they don't exist.
I'm not sitting here saying you're acting like I'm telling you I believe that this could exist. Like, no, I'm just saying that
Okay.
like, and I'm answering the question of if I what I heard of this. Like, I don't think so. If I would have heard of this, like, I don't know every single plant in the world. I don't follow horticulture, so I wouldn't
Mm.
like. It's not. It's like I don't know every single plant that freaking exists. Like that plant, like that lily, or whatever, like that only blooms, and that's in the Amazon. I don't know half the crap that exists in the Amazon. Now, would that exist? I mean, when I'm looking at this right now, it's possible that a plant could have these colors, not all at once, not all in one sitting. Um, but I'll say this much, just from the listing, they didn't
Mm.
really do that hard. They didn't even really try that hard, and they're only selling for $15. So it's like, is it really that offensive? Yes and no, maybe. I mean, it really depends if you were looking to buy this, then yeah, it's really offensive. But I
I
mean,
think that they don't have a bad review for that because they haven't found someone stupid enough to buy it yet.
I feel like people have like been buying from them though. That's the thing. I feel like
I'm
because
talking
like
about that seed.
no,
They might have found something else that was legitimate, but like I think nobody's been stupid enough to buy specifically that.
no. The thing is, like, I feel like there should be way more bad reviews on here than there currently are. Where's the 1-star review that I saw that they got? Where is it? Well, there's a 5-star like not yet planted yet, as these are seeds, but shipping, packaging, and communication were good. And that was yesterday.
How many reviews do they have?
This was only one review, so all reviews from this shop, they have 21.
21. Sometimes they'll sell some stuff to themselves a few times around to get a base of reviews. I don't know if they would do it 21 times, though. That seems like a lot.
There's a lot of different names here. I mean, unless these people were bought, I'm not saying that they weren't.
If you look at their shop, though, I'm pretty sure that none of these things exist.
Well, here's the thing. Here's something that might, like, have you justified.
Uh-huh.
I have not received yet. Very disappointed. They purchased black and white butterfly Corliss seeds. There's another 1-star review. I cannot comment because I never received it. They bought Callidium Florida Sweetheart bulbs, 2 bulbs, whatever that is. Another review.
Okay, they do have flowers here that at least exist. Like I see Johnny jump ups and stuff like that, but most of this shit just certainly does not exist.
The first package arrived from China but didn't arrive. The second package arrived from France but was sent to the wrong address. Ultimately, I received nothing and there was no response.
Are you reading multiple bad reviews or just one?
Like, I read all 3 that were here for 1 star.
Also, I noticed that like the top 5-star review says not planted yet as these are seeds, but shipping, packaging, communication was good.
I just read that
I
to you.
think a lot of what?
I just read that to you earlier.
I'm sorry. I have really bad ADHD.
You were commenting
It's
on the first comment?
well, if you receive seeds in the mail, by the time the seeds grow, like the window, like you only get like a few weeks to leave a review, and by the time you realize that your seeds, a lot of people said they didn't receive it. Now I'm seeing the reviews you were reading. By the time the seeds grow, like, and you figured out that they're not the right ones, like, it's too late to leave a review. Seeds are a really good thing to scam because it will take you a long time. It'll take you like a couple months before you know that you didn't get what you bought. When I did it, I couldn't leave them a negative review. I reported them on Etsy because it was the time. Like when I found out that mine were just a weed and not what I bought, I could report them on Etsy, but I couldn't leave a bad review.
Believe me, you can leave on the bad. There's a time limit on bad reviews, or just reviews in general.
There's a time limit on Etsy and eBay, I believe, too. For how like a certain amount of time goes by, you can no longer leave a review for something you bought.
Doesn't seem right at all.
Well, it just happens to be true. It's unfortunate for me sometimes because I buy something like you know how I get my Christmas gifts months in advance for Jessie.
Mm-hmm.
I would sometimes I go in and I want to leave a positive review for the thing now that Jessie's seen it. I want to tell the story about like how she liked it, and I can't do that because it's past the review window. So like, oh, I missed it. They did a good job, you know, and I wanted to leave a nice review, but I can't.
I mean, Amazon begs me to review, and it doesn't seem like
Amazon,
it's a.
yeah, I think you can leave a review on Amazon whenever you want, but not the others.
Yeah, it just seems so stupid. But okay, didn't know there was a time limit. I don't know why there's a time limit.
I don't know. It's you make a good point. I don't know.
And I don't even mess with the reviews. I think like a couple of times I may have done it only because like there was somebody who, because Amazon lets you know if somebody's trying to ask you a direct question, and you can leave, you can tell them directly. And I've done that a couple of times on some items that I bought that that I thought, okay, it could be helpful here.
Hmm.
Oh, go in the hole. Oh,
You just did Tiny Toons reference. That's where we are now. That's what we've come to. Tiny Toons references.
listen to you,
Want to go down
smartass.
the hole? Want to go down the hole?
I'm just admitting how stupid I am when I'm looking around a room that they gave me the solution to something for.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh,
What What did you think about what I was telling you about RFL and like the different versions of the game? Is that kind of stuff interesting to you, or are you just kind of like listening to me because I listen to you?
You're Samus.
sorry. Let me just listen to this guy real quick.
There
I'll
were
answer your
dozens
question.
of higher prize
Jeez,
targets back at
gee,
base.
no, it's cool. I see how it is.
Posted best hunter to rescue duty. We are stranded. I've been trying to figure out a way out of this room. My problem is that boiler. is putting off enough heat to turn me into casserole. I got a hunch
Casserole,
these
huh?
consoles are connected to it, but the encryption on them is beyond anything I've seen. Something tells me that's not an issue for you. Maybe we can turn the boiler off. I'd appreciate the assist.
You look like a stormtrooper.
I'm
What the heck?
Sergeant Ezra Duke, by the way. Pleasure to meet you, Samus.
Okay, so it depends on the game.
I'm talking about RFL.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Depends on the game. Um, it's interesting that there was multiple versions of it, and it sounds like this person might have been around my age, because it sounds like you said that they were working on a version of this game in high school in
I think she's
2006.
I think she's 41.
But
Probably that's a few older than you, right?
but no. So then, what was the 2006? Was she in college or at a job? I thought you said she was in high school in 2006
Let's
working
see.
on
If
this
she's
game.
46, she's 5 years young. If she's 41, she's 5 years younger than me. So in 2006, she would have been 21. And that's when the game's like final version came out. And I think she worked on it for years before that. So I think she
Also,
worked
she
on it when
released
she
it.
was like,
Okay.
I think she started working on it when she was like 18.
No, I misheard you saying that you said she was working on it in 2006 when she was in high school. That's what I thought I heard. Because but okay, never mind. That's incorrect all the way. I didn't hear anything you said there. When you talked about her history, but okay. But no, I mean, it's cool. I didn't know she made references to her own. Is she working another game? Well, I guess you could ask her that question when you were talking to her. But do you know of anything else she's working on that will come out?
Um, she's in school for nursing.
Oh, okay. Wait, she's still in school in
Um,
nursing?
she's in school. She left Stegosoft Games, the company that like the little indie company, the 2-person indie company that she was working with,
Mm-hmm.
and the developer Frost, who came in for the Unity migration, so he's kind of new to the game compared to her. Frost came in at 2016. He is the owner of Stegosoft, so I guess he's technically owns the rights to the game. If she does an interview with me, it's because she loves the game. It's not because she has anything personally to gain from it. I think the game is very sentimental to her, and you know what I mean. She's happy that other people like her creation. You know what I mean. But I don't think she gets royalties or anything anymore. I think she literally is doing it because she loves the game.
But that was not my question I asked. Like, do you know if she's working on another game?
No, I think she stopped working on games. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I tried to imply that. I know what she does for a job right now, but even though she's not made it private, I don't feel comfortable telling you while we're streaming. I can tell you afterwards. I'm not going to be telling anyone um
I mean, I don't
on the
mean you
internet.
need.
I'm not going to be telling anyone live any personal information about her, except that she's doing nursing because she's very public about that.
I don't
I probably
need to know.
won't even bring that up in my Let's Play that she's in school for nursing right now. I'll probably even leave that part out, but I know she wouldn't. Based on what I've seen, I like how many times she's brought that up to people. I know that she's not like trying to hide that. But I also know that she used to do waitressing when she was younger. And she's also a big lover of cats.
That's a person should love. Well, I guess game design is
Something
easy.
happened.
I know that.
Mhm. Knowing that she's a big lover of cats is also not private for her. Like every one of her games that she's ever made has cats in it, and you can go up and pet the cats. So I know that's another thing I'm confident that she wouldn't mind people knowing that and she also had cats in one of her interviews when she talked about her game. So I'm sure that she would not be upset with me for saying that she's a lover of cats. She's a really cool person. Like, I'm not gonna like ask her anything, but I would have been cool to be friends with her because I think she's a really cool person. Did I talk over you when you were asking a question? I'm sorry if I did.
No, no. He's right here, XLG.
Oh, hey XLG.
Thank you.
How's everything?
Temperature dropping.
XLG, I just talked kind of a lot, actually.
I was not about to say, like, what happened? I could have sworn I was quiet.
Yeah.
Probably the most quiet I've ever been. Burn. Just on myself.
I actually, in one of my emails as a developer,
This ain't the worst place I've been stranded.
I actually wrote her and like was like, hey, by the way, I just want to let you know that like I'm just all this research is just me looking up Arafel. I'm not like learning anything about you or anything like that.
You don't.
Because I was like, I didn't put it that way. I put it in some subtle way because I told her how much research I was doing. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been reading all your comments on Steam and you know the stuff that you guys talked, like any posts you wrote about it on Reddit, and I've been looking up the old version of the game and stuff. And then I looked back at my email and I'm like,
Point
I
me
wonder
at
if
your
she like
objective. I can help.
thinks I'm a stalker. So like I waited a day or two. Like I told you, she's kind of slow to respond, so I got worried about it for a couple days, and then I wrote her like a little played down message and just said, hey, just on the off chance that you're worried about that, like I'm just interested in RFL. I just want to make sure that's clear. And she's like, oh, you didn't have to say that, that's fine. But like I said, she's super friendly. But I was like, I had this little moment where I was like, I wonder if I came across like maybe I'd gone too far or something. So XLG is a big fan of me, apparently. XLG, what do you like about me? You always come in and have so many nice things to say about me. Like, what do you like about me? Is it just a meme? Like, are you just doing a bit, or like, is there something that you actually enjoy about me? And now we see if he answers. XLG is a he, right?
Yes.
I didn't want to assume their gender.
As far as I know, he's a he.
Is that
The flippant personality helps.
The flippin' personality. A good flippin' personality is always a nice little bit of spice.
Well, I can read you loud and clear now, Private. Hopefully the signal will hold.
But
Are you all right?
it's been really fun. Like that's what I spent a lot of my I can't sit up straight time doing, was like leaning on some pillows on the couch and playing different versions of this game.
Are you safe?
When I was like, because I was half drugged and I couldn't really think clearly.
Hold tight.
I was like, especially the first couple days, I was on real good painkillers, and
That doesn't sound good. We need to find Armstrong.
I don't know. And there was chaos because a lot of those days were snow days where Grayson and Jesse were in the house, so, and I don't get as much work done on my laptop anyway, so, and I couldn't sit at my computer desk, so it was like, even under good circumstances, even when I can sit at my computer desk, if it's a snow day, sometimes if I can, I just take the day off because I get so distracted by all the stuff going on in the house. So I spent a lot of time playing different versions of that game. It's weird though, because like it's hard for me now because like they're kind of a jumble in my mind. So I'm hoping that I can remember the differences between the one that I did not playing myself. I'm not going to watch the guy's entire 8-hour playthrough of the game. But I do want to take some footage from the ending because I think the ending is the only really significant difference in the game. With the other three, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take footage of myself playing the same parts of the game where they line up, because the enhanced version is like at least 50% more game than the other versions. Like there's like they added like at least a 50% addition to the game, like whole sections of the game, whole quests, excuse me, and stuff like that that just aren't in the other versions of the game. But where there's overlap, I'm going to record footage of me playing the overlapping versions of the games all at the same time, and then try to slice up moments, really focusing on the newest version of the game. But like when there's something interesting that happened differently in the other version of the game, I'll slice in the footage and talk about like how it's different. And I think what I'm kind of trying to do is combine my love. I love watching video game histories, like videos, and I love watching Let's Plays, and I kind of want to try to do both at the same time. And I think I told you that like my inspiration for this approach to Let's Plays was Proton John's Superman. Did you watch Proton John doing Superman 64?
No. I'm aware of what she's done. I wasn't the biggest fan. I'm still kind of the biggest fan. I like watching her runaway guys, but other than that.
Oh, well, Proton John did a walkthrough of Superman 64, and he never finished it, and he kept promising he was going to, and then I guess the computer, the hard drive that he had all his footage on crashed. But when he did his walkthrough of Superman 64, he was highlighting glitches, he was talking about game history. You learned all about the game while he was doing it. Like, he did cutaways to, like, talk about different things and how the game was developed. He even got some, like, interviews, like, with developers and pieces of history that you couldn't learn about the game from anywhere else from. And I was so on board when he was creating it. It was so revolutionary compared to, like, any other Let's Play I'd ever seen. And I'm not Proton John. Like, I would have to be doing this for years to ever hope to have his level of professionalism at it. You know, he's incredible in my opinion. Like, he's the best Let's Play person in my opinion, like, as far as I'm concerned. But I I wanted to take that approach, like, not just do a walkthrough of the game, but like talk about the history and, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And that's what I started to do with my last Let's Play when I did clips from the movie that it was based on, and, you know, had an interview with the developers and stuff like that. And I'm lucky that this is the game I picked second, because I had no idea there was this much to learn about the game, and it's been super fun to do it. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. And then I don't know if I'll ever find I don't know if I'll ever find a game that is this good, like, as far as like there's this much to learn about it and the developer is this approachable and stuff like that, but we'll see. But this is what I would like to be able to do. I'd like to be able to take this level of review, and if possible, I'd also like to focus on role-playing games and also indie games that people maybe didn't know about, so that whenever I do it, like, people, instead of like a video game that's been covered like 20 times, like, they get to learn about a game that they'd never heard of that maybe they'd like to play, and maybe that will make them want to watch another one of my videos. Do you know what I mean? Because they're like, oh, I learned a lot about that game and that was really cool, and I got to find a game that I want to play myself. That's kind of what I want people to take away from it. So, and even if I don't find a big audience for it, I really enjoy learning about them myself, and it's kind of a cool project. So I like the process of learning about all the different versions of the game and, like, digging into it. And this is all kind of original research. Like, it's out there, do you know what I mean? But it's all kind of original research. Like, no one's ever tried to put together like a documentary about this game, you know what I mean, in this way before. And the old version of the game that I found, there is footage of a partial playthrough of the game, and I think they're talking in German. And that's it. That's the only footage of the game anywhere. So I'll be and you can't find it for download anywhere. So, like, I'll kind of be like the last person that ever played the game, you know. I'll be like kind of the last person that ever played that game, and the only video footage of it other than that other one. You know, the only video footage of it in English anywhere. And that's kind of cool to me.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I also want to point out, I mean, Chuck Connery has brought up that Proton John, or Claire, I don't even know what her username is going to be, but Proton John was the reason why they started Let's Playing in the first place. I mean, and they do research and everything on their own too, and they usually focus on games that people don't like for a multitude of reasons.
Who does?
It's Chuck Connery.
I feel like Chuck Conroy plays fairly mainstream games, though. Anytime I've come across one of his...
They're mainstream now, but they weren't when he was covering them.
Oh, really?
He made them popular.
Oh, okay.
They're one of the reasons why a lot of people flock to some games. Now, granted, some of the games he's playing now are mainstream to a point. That's because there was a point in that series franchise that they weren't popular, like Pikmin, for instance. You hear Pikmin, you think that's popular. There was a point in the gaming history of that game, and it's still not as popular as it could be. But Chugga helped bring awareness to it.
Huh.
Claire does like streams now because that's something that she's more comfortable with doing. But she was the reason why Chugga. Well, back when Proton John was a he, but back when Chugga was Chugga got inspired by this person, and basically that's where they got their start. NCS, I don't know his history, but I think it had something to do with. I want to say he's brought up H.C. Bailey a lot in some of his past stuff, so I think that was his inspiration.
H.C. Bailey is another. I told you this before, but H.C. Bailey is another person that I'm drawing some guidance from. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say H.C. Bailey inspires me, but I'm also drawing some guidance from him. Because he does a lot of RPGs, and I've had a lot of moments where I've wondered how would H.C. Bailey, handle this situation where I'm doing a lot of repetitive actions and you know what I mean. I'm taking some guidance from him about that. And I told you Wickety Chickadee was the other one that I took a lot of guidance from. And you asked me if there was someone else that you said I'm similar to. Oh, Elizabeth. I'm not consciously taking any inspiration from him.
I mean, he seems to have a way about him, and he just has project after project. Yeah. I feel like he has recordings for projects in 2028 at this point. I know he records stuff in advance.
I've watched almost all of his YouTube videos until he started doing streaming, and then I don't like watching YouTube videos of people live streaming. But until he started live streaming, I think I've watched every one of his videos or very close to it. He's not in the room, and I like Elizabeth, but I will say that I am not trying to copy a few things of his in particular that I think are not strengths. I found him to be very kind of irritable when things didn't go his way in games. He didn't take it in good faith. He'd start complaining about the games and stuff like that. And I'm trying to. Sometimes I kind of tease, make jokes about the game a little bit. If something's a little corny or something like that, I'll kind of make a joke about it. But I'm trying to take the game and come across as it being a game that I enjoy. You know what I mean, and not tear it down. I want to share games that I'm familiar with beforehand so that I can come in and say I think you'd really like this game. But I remember that being something that turned me off a little bit.
I mean, he's not the only one that does it. There are a lot of people that complain about something being, something about the game. I think people are looking for anything to complain about sometimes. I'm not saying this a lot, but I'm just saying that people in general that are like that typically are looking for something to complain about. And I don't know if they're doing that in bad faith or what, but it is what it is.
Yeah, in RFL, people are complaining. I've watched some of the streamers because I'm curious what kind of things other people are saying about this. Not to steal their ideas, I'm just curious what other people are saying as they play the game. And one thing I've noticed is RFL has a lot of opportunities to explore the world, and not everything that you can do in RFL is going to reward you for it. Like, there'll be a spot where you can jump in a pond, or there might be a real dead end, where you're in a cave and there's just a real dead end. Like, there's nothing at the end. And some of the people that have played the game, that makes them upset. They're like, I didn't get rewarded for doing this, and I'm like, I don't know. I kind of liked it. I kind of like that it feels organic. You know what I mean? There's something contrived about getting transactional response from every single thing you do in a game. I kind of like that. I'm like, oh, I can just hit a dead end over here and come back. And no, there's nothing down that way. Let's see what's over here, So sometimes I think people don't always. I don't know, that when the person acted like that, I was like, you're kind of spoiled, dude. Just like you don't have to be rewarded for everything you do. Does that make sense?
I mean, I look at it as like, because even in RPGs for that matter, like typically you do side quests to get something out of it, and sometimes if you feel like if it's a long side quest and you got nothing from it, then you feel like you wasted your time. And I feel like that should be. I think that's all right to feel. I mean, if you feel like
that is all right to feel. I'm talking about like you spent 10 seconds walking down a cave and hit a dead end, or not even 10 seconds.
But yeah, I mean, most people don't like. I mean, I think that's the reason why people don't like JRPGs. There's a few times and you'll run a. Man, I wish you would do something besides standing there. I mean, you look cool, but geez, man. But I guess I don't know. There was a point. It took me a while to get around on RPGs. It really freaking did. As a kid, I didn't find them fun at first. As I got older, I realized that there's a lot of game here. And it's a part of the reason why I like Xenoblade specifically, is because the side quest that you can do, which I spent 5 years on Xenoblade 2, though I think a lot of that was because of how slow I played, but you did side quests and they gave you experience for it. I'm not sure how much experience you typically got, but you still got something for it, even if it wasn't an immediate reward. Now some people find immediate rewards more interesting than something that takes a little bit of time. I don't know. Everybody has differences in opinions of what games are, and stuff like that. And like, I will say, like, Elazar doesn't exactly enjoy all games. He has his tastes.
Yeah, sometimes he was a little more curmudgeon-y than I found enjoyable to listen to or watch. But it's not like I watched almost everything he put up, if not everything, so it's not like it was a problem. It was just like, I hope that I don't come across that way. I hope I don't give that impression. I think I'd like to give people like positive, relaxing vibes, you know what I mean? And not like, I don't know. I'd like to keep it positive, that's all.
In there to push the button.
One thing, Elizabeth, just to balance out what I said, because I really do like Elizabeth, he's very, very eloquent, and he's very smart when it comes to puzzles, and sometimes I would just sit there and be like, dude, I don't know how you solved this puzzle as fast as you did. He's super smart. He's probably smarter than I am. I consider myself pretty smart, but I think Elizabeth might be smarter than me. Or at least in a lot of things. And everybody's got some stuff that they're smarter than other people at, but he's probably generally more smart than I am. He's got a good podcast voice too. You have a good podcast voice.
Nice work, Samus.
You have a very expressive voice.
Now let's go find Armstrong.
And a good cadence.
I don't know. I find it hard to listen to myself sometimes.
What?
Honestly, I don't know. I find it hard to listen to myself sometimes.
What?
I give up.
Sorry, I had to do it.
No, I mean, you did it. I realized halfway that's what you were doing. Well, I said I give up. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
The frick? What is that? It's not a save point. That's something else.
Hang on a sec. I gotta get up and let my poor cat out, who's been begging me for like 45 minutes to go out. Oh, man. One thing I'm not quite used to is my tailbone and how it feels after sitting down a lot. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Hated flying blind.
Even though I can sit now, I'm still sitting on a blanket, and the angle is just off enough where maybe it's not the most comfortable place to sit for a super long time.
I just got the worst feeling of deja vu ever.
Oh, yeah?
And it's the kind of that these guys are gonna wake up. This is the same formula from the last area I was in.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have here?
Your mama. I mean,
Whoa.
Pouring green liquid
Sir.
into this container. Is this where all that muck was headed?
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to calm down.
Looks like we're going up.
really look like a stormtrooper. Like I'm not saying it's a bad thing, sir. Just like you really look like a stormtrooper. That doesn't really yield good results for people in Star Wars. So that's what.
Do you think that stormtroopers have a tough time having kids?
I don't think they have kids at all. Aren't they mostly clones?
No, clone troopers are clones. Stormtroopers are people.
Are you sure? Because they should not act
What are
like
they
people.
doing loading this thing with green?
Yeah, I'm pretty solid on Star Wars lore. They don't act like people because they're like somewhat brainwashed when they're conditioned to be soldiers. Not like actively brainwashed, but like brainwashed in the same way that someone that lives
I don't think this is the way.
like in North Korea is brainwashed. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just kind of oppressed and all the information that comes to them is controlled and they're flooded with propaganda and training and intense training and very brutal lifestyle and stuff like that. So they come across as a little robotic maybe because of the way they've been conditioned.
Hold the
Ezra,
lift.
get your black butt over here. I know what I said.
You do know what you said.
I mean, he doesn't really look that much like a stormtrooper.
And stormtroopers look like Mandalorians because their armor was made to imitate Mandalorian armor.
They're waking up. Come on.
No,
Let's take them down.
they're waking up. Okay, what? What was that just happened to Samus? She just walks over and all of a sudden she gets hit with the Eye of Sauron. What happened?
I don't know, my friend. I will point out to you that it's 7 minutes to midnight.
Yeah, I don't really. I'm not at a good spot for saving. Unless I die again, which is possible.
I've never wanted you to die as much as I do in this moment.
Wow, okay. Honestly, with this way things are working, I probably will die. You probably will get your wish. I wish I knew what these things are weak to, because like, I don't understand what the robots are weak to. Good for you, Ezra. Get Ezra. Sorry, that's the wrong name. I called you. Ezra's an anime character.
I got my first 2 thumbs downs ever in the last week on my videos.
But that's engagement.
What's that?
That's engagement. You're not a bad thing.
My first video on my walkthrough is up to 70 views.
I need to figure what you're doing wrong, right? So I can fix what I'm doing wrong.
I'm doing a lot of stuff. I verified my account with my driver's license and stuff like that. I fill out everything. I make custom tiles in ChatGPT so every video has its own custom tile. I don't know. I do everything I can think of.
I don't know what I've been doing. SC, whatever it is correctly. It's been the one thing I've never been sure of.
Yeah. My first 10 videos are 70, 41, 58, 55, 26, 48, 18, 21, 7, 23, and 30 for the first 10 episodes. The 10th one was on February 12th, so it's only a few weeks old. Jesse watches every one of my videos, and my friend Justin watches every one of my videos. So that's 2 of those views. But people are independently watching the videos, it looks like. I don't get a lot of new subscribers, though.
I'm down, soldier.
Wait. How do I do this again? Oh, I'm gonna die. He's down. Oh shoot. Dead. Oh, I'm not gonna look.
You poor baby.
Well, I'm out of missiles. Shoot.
One thing I don't understand about my Let's Plays is like how like when the number drastically goes down for one video, but just one. I don't understand that. Like I would think that most people would generally like watch their way through the series or not watch it at all.
What do we have
So
here?
like part 7 has 21 views. Part 9 has 23 views, but part 8 has 7. So like why did most of my viewers skip part 8? Do you know what I mean?
Looks like we're
YouTube has a system where sometimes even the most loyal viewer won't get a video recommended to them.
Yeah.
I don't know how you fix it other than telling them in the videos to subscribe.
They're all on a playlist too, though. Like I've got they all load when they go live. They all load into a playlist I created.
Yeah, they don't know that's there. You might have to advertise that in your videos that this is there. Again, that's not something that gets recommended to them. YouTube doesn't do everything.
I do have a link to the playlist in the description.
You don't have to. Again, it's about just. I think a lot of it has to do with you telling them in the video. There's like a little bit of work on your end. I know you rather them look, but at the same time, like viewers are typically there to watch and they have other things going on in their in their foreground.
What I mean is, it's in the description. It's in the description and at the end of the video. If you've watched the video, it's a recommended the next one in the series and the playlist come up as the recommended videos. So I'm not verbally saying there is a playlist, but it's right there
Most people
in two
probably are
different
looking
ways.
for, I guess, either. I don't think I've ever recommended a playlist either.
Yeah.
So you got well, how long do those tag things stay up there? Because, like, I have not been using them.
They stay up. I set I set it up with the end slate that I used with ChatGPT because I don't want to pay for Photoshop. And ChatGPT worked with ChatGPT, and I made like an end template where there's like a box, two boxes, and you can put recommended things in there. So like on the box on the left, I always put the playlist. On the box on the right, I always put the next video in the series.
Huh. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Good night. See you guys next week. For sure.
Good night, everybody.